And we're back. Another week of casual, or 2 weeks, I guess, for this one, of casual gaming news. We're doing the last couple weeks, which encompass Christmas, basically. So, the week of the 22nd and 29th. Not a lot. As I said, it turned out I was right. So, very short news today. We're going to go through them pretty quickly because there's no point in really staying on any of these too long. So, we're just going to go in order of how I have them open here. Starting first with, let me make sure my notes are open though, just in case. First with, the Fantastic Four being announced to be coming to Marvel Rivals. That's the wrong one. We want this one. This is the one we want. So get ready. Marvel Rivals is adding 4 new characters. The Fantastic Four. This is the teaser picture that they put out. So it's the Marvel Rivals Twitter account officially. You're going to see a trailer in a couple days on the 6th. For them, again, concept art. This is Jordan Midler, VGC, by the way. Paste. So we're getting the entire family, most likely, probably 2 DPS, a tank, and a support, is what I think. That's my opinion. There's no information currently known on whether the characters will be released, or if all 4 members of the team will be released together. It'd be cool if all 4 of them were together. That'd be cool. I like that a lot. So I assume it's 2 DPS, a tank, and a support. We need more tanks in the game. Well, maybe when the trailer comes out, which is on Monday, maybe we'll watch it. Or, I mean, we'll at least watch it for the news later that week, if you hadn't already seen. Next one. Apparently, Xbox is developing a cross-platform user interface, which is kind of wild. This is Tom Ivan VGC. I think this was on a different site at first, or this was an interview. I'm not sure. Or sources are just saying there's going to be a cross-platform user interface. Sources tell us that Microsoft is also working on a set of in-game APIs and user interface features called Project Rainway, which is some form of cross-platform Xbox guide menu. Where does this report come from? Windows Central. Jez Corden from Windows Central is the original article, looks like. Microsoft has been inspired by the in-game Battle.net social features seen in Hearthstone, Diablo 4, and World of Warcraft, which lets you share and communicate cross-platform. This means that for games running on other platforms from Xbox, they will still have an Xbox flavor and in-game Xbox systems, maybe even cloud saves. Last week, Microsoft Studio reiterated central Xbox, all devices, so on and so forth. So we'll see what happens here. I don't know what that would look like, how that would be implemented in like, let's say Sony or something, in the PlayStation stuff. I don't know, because that's so weird to have its own cross-platform interface. We have to see more of this. Obviously, something like this was going to happen, but I'm very interested to see what exactly it is when it comes out. Everything's in Xbox. Next, Sega says it's weighing up launching its own game subscription service. This is also Tom Ivan VGC. I'm gonna have to open a window in a second here. So they're looking at the possibility of launching a subscription service for video games. This is an interview with the BBC with President Shuji Utsumi. They're saying how all the major brands, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, have their own subscription service. Also with EA and Ubisoft. So they want their own thing, which would be weird. There's a lot of Sega games. Sega games hit more often than not, honestly, in reviews and numbers. I wonder if they've got such a crazy back catalog of games. Crazy Taxi for one of them, huh? Jet Set Radio, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Shinobi, Virtua Fighter. That's a lot of stuff. Sonic, obviously. Oh, so if it's like a super small amount subscription service, it might be worth it. I really, I think they could do a lot with this. This new fresh IP slash studio Sega, I think could do a lot. I think they got a lot going for them right now. But again, who knows what's gonna happen? Hopefully, it doesn't tank the company like it did for Nintendo. Speaking of Nintendo, there's still more fake eShop games coming out, and these stories are becoming more prevalent. This one's a ripoff of Black Myth Wukong, which is not really a ripoff of the game itself, more so like the preview thumbnail for it. This is Tom Ivan VGC again. So this one's called Wukong Sun Black Legend, priced at $8 in the eShop. If you go and look at it, where is it? I know it's here somewhere. This is the link to the eShop. So this is the first thumbnail that you see when you go into the shop, and then this is what the game looks like. It's a side-scrolling platformer beat 'em up game. Much brighter, cartoonier features than the initial ripoff of the actual game will show you. It's wild that this stuff is just on there, and it's fine. It does not look good at all, but it's $8. Wild stuff. 2D action game rather than a big budget 3D one like Wukong, but they share the same source material and its name and promotional art bear notable resemblances to the Game Science's blockbuster title. Embark on an epic journey to the west in Wukong Sun Black Legend, reads the eShop listing for upcoming game. Step into the role of immortal Wukong, the legendary Monkey King, as he battles through a chaotic world teeming with powerful monsters and untold dangers. So this is feeding off of last show's story about the unpacking director saying, hey, all these unpacking fake ripoff things are in the store still. What are you doing? And there was no response. Still no response about this one either. Nor did Global Game Studio, which is listed as Wukong Sun Black Legends developer and publisher. So it looks like still nothing is being done about this, but I assume the more eyes we put on this stuff, the more people start talking about it, the quicker things will happen about this. And I'm going to hope that Nintendo, being Nintendo, will put their litigation to good use and get rid of all these imitation games. Last one in the news stories that I have that's not chat picks. So Xbox turns down a big franchise crossover for Secret Level. That's the Amazon show. I don't remember if it's still going or not. I do need to catch up on it. This is Jordan Midler, VGC. I gotta check if all the episodes are out yet. But apparently, it looks like Doom and Master Chief were to team up in a Secret Level episode. According to the creators of the video game anthology series Secret Level, a pitch was made for an episode of the show featuring both Master Chief and the Doomslayer. However, it wasn't approved by the license holder. Speaking to Collider, Secret Level creator Tim Miller said that he'd like fans to understand that if they're wondering why a large franchise wasn't featured, it's likely the creative team approached the rights holder and were turned down. He's quoted saying, I get a little chaffed when I read online and they're like, hold on, these assholes took Spelunky when they could have taken Halo or something like that. And I'm like, man, you think that we didn't talk to Halo or something? He wanted to reveal that he pitched the Halo crossover with Doom, two of Microsoft's largest FPS franchises. The creative director at id Software is a good friend of ours, and so are folks at Microsoft. So we made a big plea because one of the biggest things both Tim and I would love to do is do something that isn't currently available in the games like crossovers. We want to make Master Chief / Doomslayer crossover episode, and I spent a whole weekend crafting this impassioned letter of my childhood, and it's exactly what Tim said. They were like, nah. So that's pretty lame. It would have been cool to see, but I get it. They don't want to make it. I bet they just don't want any more comparison to the two than they already have been, because it's basically the same fucking art style for the suit. Would have been cool. Hey, maybe season 2. Who knows? Because apparently this is doing pretty well. We're already moving on to chat picks. Like I said, really short news episode this week. Former Cyberpunk devs, The Blood of Dawn Walker will get full reveal in time for the full moon. This is GameSpot, George Yang. So Studio Rebel Wolves has announced that it will host a reveal livestream for its debut game, The Blood of Dawnwalker, on January 13th at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. The 13th is a Monday, so 2 Mondays from now, as of the recording / stream of this news. The date will also be the next time a full moon will appear. This is the tweet from Dawnwalker. On January 13th, under the next full moon, gather around at Dawnwalker Game Twitch channel to hear about Val Sangora, turbulent history, natural landscapes. Let's click the actual thing here so we can open up the video. Witness the premiere of CGI trailer serving as the game's opening. Learn about, because there's no capital L. Learn about the game's pillars and main concepts. Have a first glimpse into the gameplay and much more. What is this? That's very loud, sorry. That's very loud. Is it the same thing, just in video form? Yeah. Same thing in video form. Let's check it out. Blood and Dawnwalker is a dark fantasy RPG that's being built in Unreal 5. The studio was founded by former CD Projekt Red director Conrad, I can't say that last name, in February 2022. Other people working on The Blood of Dawn Walker include design director Daniel Sadowski, narrative director Jacob, I can't pronounce that either, animation director Tamara Zawada, and art director, another name I cannot pronounce. I apologize. But we'll see if this looks good, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of history behind CD Projekt Red, and these are a lot of people from that company. I wonder if this is gonna come out in general, because like they could do all the cheesers they want, but who knows until they actually release the game. Next is PC Gamer Rich Stanton talking about pushback on game ownership in general from the gamers. 2024 was the year gamers really started pushing back on the erosion of game ownership. It talks a lot about, licensing and downloading stuff and it not being yours because then it gets delisted and servers get turned off, all that stuff that we've currently been talking about. It's a pretty decent read. I read through the majority of it. I didn't get to like the last section just because it is a long read, but it's definitely good to get the knowledge in your brain about like what it means to buy games digitally, so on and so forth, or even these days, even physical copies can do the same thing. It's just like we've been saying, just a key to unlock the digital version, which is why there's a large install when you use a disc sometimes. Pretty good read, like I said. Read it at your, if you know what, read it. I dare all of you to read it. PC Gamer again, Andy Chalk. Warner Brothers is delisting more games. I think they're trying to be secret about it. So half a dozen Cartoon Network releases have been removed from sale on digital storefronts. That's a lot. Warrior 64, another, is this Blue Sky? This looks like Blue Sky. Cartoon Network games published titles are getting delisted from Steam so far includes OKKO Let's Play Horses, Samurai Jack Battle Through Time, Steven Universe, or a couple Steven Universe games. So a bunch of small WB games are being delisted, which is weird to delist tiny games like that. They're quietly removed a half dozen of its games from sale on Steam and other digital platforms, including Samurai Jack Battle Through Time, so on the things that we just said. It was on Blue Sky. Hell yeah. Adventure Time, Finn and Jake's Epic Quest, Adventure Time Magic Man's Head games have also been removed. They've been taken down from non-PC storefronts. The store page for each game now carries the same message with only the title change. Attention players, OKKO Let's Play Heroes will no longer be available for sale after this time. Thanks for playing. That's it. So no reason for it. They're just taking games out. It's pretty, I just don't know. I understand the point. I understand like what they get out of delisting these tiny games. Were they server reliant? Is that what it was? They're really starting to cut costs, like pinching all of the pennies. So none of these games, they don't have to pay anyone to update these games. That's probably what it is. They're just pinching pennies. A couple more. This is Dexerto, Carver Fisher. Talk about Marvel Rivals bugs, which this is pretty wild. So if your game isn't running at higher FPS, you're getting fucked basically. So they noticed that, or someone on Reddit noticed that if you're running the game at lower FPS, a lot of the heroes, at least 5 that they've seen, this is from like a week ago, they get nerfed. So they did a comparison. So this is Doctor Strange just doing a side jump and float, going from 0 to like what, 15 meters almost at 160 FPS. This is 30 FPS. He doesn't even get to 10 meters. There's the side by side. So at 30 FPS, he doesn't get to 10. At 160 FPS, he almost gets to 15. Next one's Wolverine, which this is fine. Jump and claw. You're clawing. But Groot gets knocked out at least 2 hits before the 30 FPS. And then you could see how much faster Venom is at 160 versus 130. Versus 30. He's so slow. He's running so slow at 30 FPS. This is Magic. At 15 meters, she does the dash and slice. Doesn't get enough. She's not close enough to slice at 30 FPS. Which is so odd how the frame rate is dictating how far she, like her range. It's so wild. She just doesn't get there at 30 FPS. She doesn't get close enough. This one I had to watch a couple times. So he's just Star-Lord is doing more the damage rate is higher at 160. It's at least 1 or 2 hits faster. If you could see the health bar of Groot here. It's at least 1 or 2 hits faster on 160 than it is on 30. So that's just those 5 that they've tested. I'm not sure if there's any more that it's going to come out, but sometimes it just does, you don't get a stable frame rate in that game. They did talk about, what do they say here? They did mention some other things. Some heroes don't dash quite as far as they were supposed to. Others melee slower than intended. Many heroes can't jump to the height their abilities would normally allow. The difference between the experience of playing at high FPS and below 30 frames are night and day. They talk about more abilities like Doctor Strange's portal are prone to nuking your FPS if there's a lot happening on screen. It's at the point where some of the game's most popular mods are to boost FPS, which is impressive considering how many of Marvel Rivals mods are used for. Other things. I wonder what that could be. It's pretty insane. Because, yeah, when this came out, you had to do a lot of tweaking, or we had to do a lot of tweaking of the settings to get some sort of stable FPS, because that game is really hard to get a stable FPS. It's probably all the cutscenes that they have inside of there. 160 versus 30. Yeah, 160 versus 30. So this is really wild that it's that bad. Hopefully they optimize it a little bit better soon, because it is very, very not optimized right now. All right, so last thing for today. A new post on New Year's Eve from Tango Gameworks. A new start. Tango Gameworks Studio has been reborn as Tango Gameworks Inc., proudly joining Krafton. So Krafton did officially purchase Tango. We're excited to continue crafting games that bring joy to players around the world. Thank you for continued support as we embark on this new journey. So some light at the end of the tunnel kind of news instead of studio shutdown or layoffs, which I guess you can consider the delisting of these Warner Brother games something similar. If people were working on them, obviously they are being let go or moved to other projects. So Tango Gameworks will be back. I'm excited to see what they come out with this year. Hopefully they come out with something this year, because that Hi-Fi Rush, very well received. Didn't play it, like I said, but very, very well received. And that's it for gaming news for today. Nice 20-ish minute gaming news. Pretty sick. Not a lot, like I said, not a lot went on that was of too big of importance. But that's gonna be it for this week's casual gaming news. Thanks to everyone that hung out for the live stuff. Thanks to everyone that joined in on Tuesday for the extra live stream. That really you guys really blew it out of the park with all the support and the donos and everything. You guys were so awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed stream on Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoyed gaming news today. We're going to switch over to some golf with friends in a second here. And swing at some balls for a little bit. Probably switch over to some other games as well. That's going to be it for this week. Thank you. Check out the links in the chat. Join in the live stream or the comments to suggest news. I don't know if you guys saw there's a new sign in the back. You guys can't see it. Maybe, well, who knows. But yeah, until next time.